Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great Mother's Day. Make sure to wish your guys' mothers, Happy Mother's Day. Make sure you get them something nice. Make sure you appreciate them for what they do and let them know that. They would really appreciate that. So today's video, we're going to be going over, is the hype behind Diablo 4 real? And straight to the point, yes it is. I'm going to be explaining why I'm super excited and why I was a little skeptical at first, but from actually being able to physically play the game this weekend, my expectations, let me just say, were blown out the water. So just to get started into it, I came across Diablo 4 from playing Diablo Immortal on the phone. I played Diablo 2 in the past, but when I was gaming back then, I really wasn't familiar with how you play ARPGs and wasn't really good at that. I was just kind of going through the game. I felt weak. I understand, like, you need a setup, you need to get gear, you can't just like click a button and go through it because it's not a hack and slash game. So I found Immortal and playing on my phone because I was bored, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. And then they had an advertisement saying, hey, Diablo 4, check it out. So I looked at it, went on YouTube, started finding content creators going over Diablo 4, talking about the game, and man, the more they talked about it, the more excited I got. The more I saw the developer live streams, the more excited I got even more. I will say this, one of the big forces driving my hype behind the game is Blizzard themselves. I want to compliment them on that. They've done a really good job at listening to player feedback. They've done a good job with interacting with the community. That is something I'm not used to seeing. A lot of big games that have taken up like a lot of my time in terms of investment that I've played would be games like Ark, Destiny, Gears of War, Borderlands, and those are just to name a few of them. And I've never really seen this level of commitment that the devs have to really want to have a good game and want to make their community happy. So I commend Blizzard for that, despite everything else that's been going on with the company and all the drama that I'm sure you guys all know about. Now, being able to play this weekend, like I said, expectations blown out of the water. It was really nice to actually play a game that delivered or exceeded my expectations. And just to kind of get started and not to keep going over the same sentence over and over again, the first thing that really caught my eye was the character creation. Now, I know it's not in depth, but I think it's in a good enough spot that it's nice, especially in games like this where it's kind of like top-down view. Like as you see my character right now, I'm looking from above. I'm not really playing third person or first person in this game. And another thing that I love too is the fact that in this game, you can actually make your own gear. So for example, this staff. Now, I made this staff because this was originally a rare item, and then from playing the game, I did a dungeon, and I found an aspect called ice shards, and I was able to take this aspect and put it onto that rare item to make it legendary. And I think that level of creativity, that level of depth that you can add to your character puts it way above anything else. I think just that little detail alone makes the game so good, because the biggest thing with RPGs and ARPGs and even MMOs, I know it's not an MMO, but it feels like it when you're playing, like, because you see other players walking around, and it's a very nice feel, is being able to have creative freedom. And with that creative freedom, it really allows you to kind of make a really cool build. And they really mean it when they say, play how you want to play. Like, for example, I found legendary like items, like right here, weapons and jewelry that I just didn't want to use or didn't want to like really get rid of because I never knew. And look right here, I extracted it, that legendary power, and I put it in my bag. And later, if I decide to have a build or I want to try something out, they're already here. And then I can just go find that weapon, that jewelry, that piece of armor, and I can socket these on it and make my own legendaries. So I think that alone is incredible. I think the fact that the game is launching with a full end game as well, there's so much to do, from Hell Tides to Nightmare Dungeons to Whispers of the Dead to the Fields of Hatred, which is PvP, which I will be covering later on this week, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of staying tuned, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, please make sure to like and leave a comment down below. Let me know the next thing you guys want to hear. And if you like that, why not subscribe? It's free, and you can always unsubscribe at any time, and feel free to ring the bell so you guys don't miss a video. But let's get back to the main point, is the hype real? Again, after touching on that aspect of the game too, I think just the performance, right? Like this was a server slam. The goal was to get as many players in, have them flood the servers, have them really see, like, really stress it, really see, hey, when launch comes out, are people able to handle it? And I think this was a great example. I didn't crash once. I didn't have any lag. I didn't have any bugs. Again, this was my experience. Maybe you guys experienced something different. So just sound off in the comments down below. But yeah, overall, very smooth experience. Even playing co-op with my friend, like, having both of us on the screen, casting abilities, going crazy. No disconnect issues, instantaneous. Like, you just join your friend, boom, you're there. And that's another thing I want to talk about, actually, instantaneous, like, sessions. Me and my friend were doing a strat to just spawn world events, so we were kind of going around and, like, traveling to different realms to just really try to find an event. And it was so cool because I kept inviting him to join me. But whenever I was playing and he actually found something, he sent me the invite to join him. And when I joined him, I didn't load, I didn't leave the map I was on. It's just his world appeared instantly in mine. So I thought that was very cool. I've never seen that in a game before, just instant. I'm so used to, you go through a load screen and then a queue or something like that whenever you're joining your friend. So just to see that the world just populated in front of me and I saw my friend there, incredible. And speaking of load screens, they're like non-existent, basically. There's some load screens you run into when you enter a dungeon or a cellar, but they're so fast. And I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, so I couldn't imagine if you guys are playing on a very high-end PC. It's probably like half a second. I've been experiencing maybe like 1 to 3 second load screens, so nothing that's really like ruining my pacing of the game. And then I guess really like something that is really just getting the hype going for me is PvP. And I get that this game is not going to be a PvP focused game, and I understand that completely. And like I said, I will be posting a video later on my thoughts on PvP and why I think PvP is going to be important to Diablo in the end game. But no, just the fact that they have open world PvP. So the Fields of Hatred, just to go over it a little bit, it's going to be a zone where you and your friends can just go in and do some PvE activities and collect a currency in there to go use at a vendor to get cosmetics and gear and things like that. And the cool thing is, if you go in there and let's say you run into a group of people that have been farming, they have so much of that currency, you can go in there with your friend and just kill them. You kill them, you get all their money. And I just think that mechanic is cool. Now, the money I'm talking about is a very unique currency in the zone. It's not something that's tied to your actual gold. Your gold is safe, your gear is safe. So that's a very nice aspect as well. And something else that's really kind of like feeding like into my hype for this game in particular is the MMO feel. I really like the fact that while playing this game, you feel like you are in an MMO, even though Blizzard is actively saying, hey, this is not an MMO, this is an ARPG, it's meant to be played like that, not an MMO. But we fought a Shava yesterday, and man, let me tell you, she was tough. She was tough. We even tried her out on World Tier 1 just to really see. Even on World Tier 1, like, she's still one-shotting you. So that's pretty insane. So it's just basically the difficulty for at least the world bosses, from what it seems like, is just more damage. I mean, more damage that you need to deal. So I think the world tiers, in terms of adding them to the bosses, is more of a DPS check. Like, all her one-shots mechanics were even one-shotting me in World Tier 1. So the only difference really is just she's more squishy in World Tier 1, and World Tier 2, she's more tanky. So that gets me very, very excited. And I think the other thing I want to touch on, and kind of like the final point of why the hype for this game for me is so real, is the transmog system. So you'll have the wardrobe. It's going to be located by this symbol on the map that looks like a wardrobe. You go into it, and then any gear that you salvage is going to be transmoggable. So you can go and you can just customize your character anyway. So for example, I'm wearing this. I can just change it on the fly. I just don't like a look. I can slot all this out. And this is just the armor so far in the game. And I think for my sorceress, it looks amazing. I love this cape. I wish I could find something better, but I am really in love with this top. Don't ask me why. Just something about it. I just really like it. And just this level of creativity that the player gets, and it's free. You don't have to pay money. There's no monetization on it. It is just free. You just play the game and you're good to go. So again, on Blizzard's part, this is another W. And like I said, guys, the hype is real. You better believe it. If you didn't get a chance to play the server slam, I am sorry, but I will be streaming this over live on Twitch at launch. I will be getting the early access, so you guys will see me June 1st going live playing this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed it, like, leave a comment, and always subscribe. It's free, and like I said earlier, you can always unsubscribe if you start to dislike my content. And feel free to turn notifications so you guys don't miss a video. You guys, thank you so much. I will catch you later. Later.